Hi, it's Anna with Create Your Future. Today I have a success story for you from one of my clients who recreated her specific person completely and manifested the relationship with him that she desired. Before I read her email, I want to remind you that we are giving away 3 free sessions, and all the details about it are in the description box below. If you would like to book a coaching session with me or try my course, Self-Concept 360 Degrees to Manifest Anything, both links are in the description box below. And the course is an all-around course about self-concept that you can use for only that, or and also how to use self-concept in your specific manifestations. I explain it more in details in the course, and also I kind of forget to say this in the videos. In the end of that course, I also give you a routine to follow, how to do a mental diet, and how to easily incorporate manifesting in your day-to-day life without having to take time off to manifest whatever you desire. So let's read her email. And also, by the way, let's again use this success story to remind ourselves that if other people can manifest their specific people and recreate them and manifest the relationships that they desire, then so can we. It just takes a little persistence sometimes. So, dear Anna, I am writing to you to let you know about the success I had since I had my session with you in October. As we discussed, I have been with my SP for 5 years now. I manifested him back in 2018, and throughout these years we were still simply dating, and my desire when I spoke with you was to meet his family, especially his daughter. I never really felt pressured as time went by that we were together for years, and still I didn't meet his mom or daughter. But I was confident it would happen at some point. In the meantime, he spent time with my family, so that was okay for me. Another thing I wanted to change was the frequency he spent time with me. He was always so busy with work and his daughter. He also lived 1.5 hours away, so I believed he had no time for me. And of course, this is an assumption. Try to pay attention to what kind of story you're telling about your specific person and your relationship, because things like this can seem so real, like, yeah, of course he has no time, it's showing. But realize that that's an assumption. If you change the assumption, she will have time for you. And this is how she does it. When I had my session with you, you recommended writing a few self-love affirmations and some specific ones related to us being happily married and that I am loved by his family. The reason I recommended self-love here is because if you assume that your loved one doesn't have time for you, it automatically indicates that you're not that important. So this is one of the cases where there's a specific belief about the person, and then there can be a general belief behind it that could manifest both with your specific person and with everyone else. So it's always good to address these general beliefs that you might have, that maybe it's something like I'm just not that important, I'm not a priority, which is unfortunately very common. But if you are facing problems like this, there can be general beliefs behind it, which is mostly self-concept. Like, why wouldn't they have time for you? If you're important, if you're the love of their lives, etc. She says, I also added, I love waking up next to SP every morning, because writing this statement made me feel so much joy imagining the feeling I would get waking up next to him. And this is really important. If you can get to the state where you feel how you would feel if you already had your manifestation, that's a very powerful thing in manifestation. That is a way of living in the end. It's not the only way, but it's one way of living in the end of the wish fulfilled, which literally brings you your manifestation if you persist in it and if you don't give in to the 3D triggers. I wrote these affirmations day and night. Within 2 weeks, his job was relocated next to my house, so he began to be with me just about every day, stating that my house now felt home. Ta-da! We went on more trips together, we spent the holidays together, and every day our relationship continued to get better and better. I never pressured him to meet his family, and I continued to write my affirmations even though everything was working out for me. Fast forward to today, I finally met his family and feel so loved by them. The whole process took me about 4 months of consistent writing affirmations and just trusting the process. So here's a very important thing. First of all, there are some people who think that other people get their SP overnight. It can happen. Like, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So don't assume that it can't happen overnight. But if it doesn't, don't get discouraged, because if you just persist in your assumptions and in the work that you're doing, it will come. It has to come, because that's law. So here it took her 4 months of consistent writing affirmations. And also, of course, you have to pay attention to your thoughts during the day. If you write your affirmations and during the whole day you don't have negative thoughts at all, you completely live from the end, that's fine. But if you pay attention and you notice that in between your writing you have opposing story going on in your mind, you have to correct that. In any case, whatever you're doing, if you just persist, you will get to your end. So now it took her 4 months. It could take you 2 months or 6 months or 3 weeks. So don't get caught up in time. I get this question quite often, especially from new clients, like, how long will it take me? You know only how long it will take you. It depends on how much time and space you give to the opposing story, to the current story, to the reacting to the 3D, etc. So don't focus on time. It's better for you to focus on the end goal happening now. That's the quickest way to get to your end, also physically, in the 3D. And there was something else here I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, something very, very important in manifesting. She says that she never pressured him to meet his family. She just continued writing down affirmations. And this is something that I have said to, I think, all my clients, and I've said this in several videos, that your physical action isn't going to help you if the assumption isn't your end goal. So, and arguments and talking it out and explaining things to people, it's not going to get you anywhere. You might have the talk and explain the problem to your SP, and they might understand it in that moment and say, yes, you're right, etc., etc. But if you have the assumption that they're the opposite of that, that is what's going to manifest anyway. So it's less efficient to do things in the physical reality to get your manifestation than to just stay in your mind, control your imagination, do the work, persist in that. That is much more effective than to try to control the 3D. Controlling the 3D, trying to get your way in the 3D is going to get you nowhere. So if you're facing any sort of a problem, now at this point she says she was already feeling good about the relationship because she had almost got what she wanted here. But if you're facing problems, and I know it's very tempting to argue, to explain, to tell them, or to do things, but just remember that it's your assumption manifesting anyway, so you might create a big argument, or you might even get your way in that moment, like in the discussion. They might agree with you, yes, you're right, I was wrong, etc. In any case, the next day, your assumption will manifest. It's better for you to work with your beliefs and your assumptions and whatever is happening in your mind. So, the whole process took me about 4 months of consistent writing affirmations and just trusting the process. In addition to this, my SP began learning about the LOA, and we write on our journals together and manifest together, and I never would have imagined this to be possible because he used to be not very open-minded when I met him. I wanted to thank you for recommending this and helping me change my life. You're welcome. You did the work. I will continue with my affirmations about self-love and marriage. But honestly, I am savoring every single moment of bridge of events that happen every day. So I am okay with however much time it takes to reach that desire. I am also manifesting smaller things in my life, not related to love. And I am simply enjoying this reality that I am creating. Thank you again. I am so happy that you got your manifestation. You know who you are. And I want to say to everyone else that you can just as easily, or quote unquote easily, get your specific person if you just control your imagination and persist in your end goal. And try to focus less on how much time it will take you, what if this, what if that, but this is a problem, but then this happened, but in the past this and that, etc. All the buts and hows and etc. Leave it aside. None of it is your problem. It's all going to be solved. And one last thing I want to say about her manifestation is she went directly to the end. So there are two types of people when it comes to manifesting a specific person. There are those who want to manifest in steps, and both methods work. It depends on your personality, and it depends on your emotional state and your trust in the process. Some people prefer to manifest first the contact, then the dating, then this, then that, and then the living together, and then marriage, etc. And then there are other people like her who prefer to go to the end because that's going to bring the same result anyway. You just focus on one thing instead of first focusing on manifesting the contact, let's say, and then when you get the contact, then you focus on manifesting the dating. When you get that, then you focus on manifesting the next step. I personally, most of the time, find it easier to go to the end. Now, some people have trust issues with this because I have had clients who said that I can't go to the end because if I think thoughts of being married to him, my mind immediately goes like, how can you be married to him if you're not even talking? If this creates too much resistance, you can always focus on steps. But if you are having doubts whether or not, like, let's say you are in no contact, nothing is happening at all, can I manifest being married to the person? Yeah, you can, definitely, because your mind will have to find ways to get you to your end. So in order for you to get married, you need to go through a process. Like, at least you need to start talking, right? So you can focus on the end goal, and then whatever needs to happen in between to get you there will get you there. And the process can be different for everyone. It kind of also depends on your beliefs. I have said this about money once, that let's say you're manifesting $1 million, but you have the belief that money comes with hard work, etc., etc. You will still manifest the 1 million, but through hard work. The same in this case. Like, if you have the fixed belief that in order to get married, you need to be dating for X amount of months, and you need to be doing specific things before you can get to the marriage, then that will be the process for you. Depending on your beliefs about marriage and relationships, etc. So try to make it as easy as possible for yourself and not put limitations on yourself, because again, sometimes people assume that the manifestation will come in like 6 months, and I always say, like, don't put time on it like that, because if you just assume it is happening now, it could happen way sooner than those 6 months or 4 months or however long you think it is going to take you. So again, I hope this was a great reminder for you that you are powerful and you are creating the world and the people around you, and especially your specific person is currently mirroring your assumptions. And if you change those assumptions about them and the relationship and yourself, your specific person is going to mirror the new assumptions that you create. So you can manifest your specific person no matter how hard it seems and no matter how stubborn they may be. That's an assumption, by the way. Don't have the assumption that your specific person is stubborn. But a lot of people say this. Like, I have heard this from clients. Like, they're so stubborn. I don't know how they will change their mind. It doesn't matter. It's not your job. Go to the end where you're happily married, and then the happy relationship happens. Just like with this client, she went to the end of a happy marriage where his family loved her, etc., etc. And then bridge of events happened and continue happening, and she is enjoying them because her end goal is a happy place. So it can't be a complete disaster, right? You're like the middle of creating a happy end. So go to the end, make it a happy place, and persist until you get your manifestation. That was all for today. I intend this was inspiring for you. Inspiring to persist. And remember to enter the giveaway. And again, if you would like to book a coaching session with me or to try my course about self-concept, the links are in the description box below, and have a beautiful day.